Welcome back, everyone. We've had a great start to day three of Unconvention 2021 and have many more amazing sessions planned ahead. For those of you who have just joined us and could not attend the sessions earlier, the recording of those sessions should be up on the platform soon. For our third masterclass of the day, which is in partnership with Startup India, I invite Mrs. Hira Jayachandra, who is Head of Technology Platforms at Wilgrow, and Mr. Mohammad Azhar, Program Lead at Wilgrow, to speak about tech solutions for incubators. Over to you, Azhar and Hira.
Uh, Anubha, actually some repetition is coming.
Hira Jayachandra, who is Head of Technology Platforms at Wilgrow, and Mr. Mohammad Azhar, Program Lead at Wilgrow, to speak
It's
about tech
echoing, yeah.
solutions for incubators. Over to you, Azhar and Hira.
Anubha, actually some repetition is coming.
Yeah.
Echoing, yeah.
Is it fine now?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Anubha, for the lovely masterclass today that we have planned for the incubators and accelerators, especially focus on. Because today we will discuss our two products that we recently launched in India for Indian incubators. So one is that is the playbook. Playbook is basically designed for the uh, all type of incubator and accelerator, even the budding incubator also. If somebody want to start the incubator, they can use our playbook modules, and for mature incubator as well. Second part is that vitals that Hira will be with me, who can go through about the vitals platform and help you to understand what is that, how vitals are helping the incubators in managing the data of their incubatees and their donors as well. With me, Devapartin Das as well. Devapartin Das is the CFO of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. So he basically one of the beneficiary of our capacity building program under the incubator initiative. What we have done with the IIM Calcutta, we have share our modules, tools, and templates with them, and they have very much adopted in their incubation program. So he will share his experience on using the tools and templates and design of the incubation of Wilgrow. So I'm not wasting my time. So thank you, Hira, for joining us. Thank you, Devapartin, for joining us. I'm going to start the session with my short presentation about Wilgrow and how we are helping the incubators as well. Yeah, so Wilgrow is a 20-year-old social enterprise incubator, and we are working in the four geography of the world, especially in India, which is very much focus area, where we have incubated more than 340 companies. Plus, we also in the Africa region, where we have building the lot of ecosystem activities and supporting the early stage entrepreneurs, same as in the Philippines and USA. So the impact so far, we, as I told, 340 innovators that we have incubated in last 20 years. Our incubation model is basically linked with the investment. So around $11 million we have funded to these entrepreneurs, and these entrepreneurs has raised follow-on funding, which is $76 million. Wilgrow is basically focusing in three major sectors: healthcare, agriculture, and energy. We also have some of the incubators in different areas as well, some livelihood links through our different program. I'm coming to the major part of the incubation model that we have, because Wilgrow is totally believing on this six type of delivery to each entrepreneurs. So we are very much believing on the networking, because we believe that key networks helps entrepreneur to grow rapidly. Apart from that, because there is several method to monitor and portfolio management of such companies, so we have a diagnostic panel, which is a very focused diagnostic of entrepreneur, where we can building the 100 days plan of each entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur, so we can easily monitor them and we can easily help them to grow. After that, we have a seed funding, minimum seed funding. We are going to 25 lakh to up to 60 lakh rupees to each incubators. Apart from that, we are also helping them in raising follow-on funding. So our seed funding model is basically is two type of thing. Mostly is in grant mode, which is around 90% of companies have received grant, and also we have started a little bit equity in some time as per the donor requirement. Fourth one is very much important because a lot of the incubators and a lot of the accelerators are failing because they don't have such a go-to-market activities in a right place. So therefore, Wilgrow has a very much in this business, and we did around 4 to 5 accelerator programs for our companies through different donors. But also the go-to-market advisory is also integral part of our incubation model as well. So every company, it is our commitment to for every company that we have to advise you how to enter into the market, how to convert your product into the prototype, into the product market fit and all stuff. So that is a very important thing that we are doing in our incubation model, and that helps incubator to move from one place to another place, and that helps incubators to raise follow-on funding as well. Apart from that, technical assistance that we are providing, technical assistance is one of the integral part of our incubation. Technical assistance here means is that a lot of incubators have a problem in different areas, like webs is a simple example, because a lot of audience here who are from the budding incubator and very new incubators also. So technical assistance means, for example, some startup says ki I don't have a technical expertise in developing the website, a simple manner. So what we will do, so as an incubator, Wilgrow is helping them in a technical assistance to develop their websites, to develop their, to also help them in legal and corporate lawyers, also help them to raise follow-on funding through technical assistance. And that is a part of their funding. It is not coming from the outside. What the design of our seed funding is like that. If, for example, if we are okay to give 50 lakh rupees as a investment to any startup, so out of that 10% should go for a technical assistance and mentoring. So that is a fixed with and we have to take in our advantage in our agreement as well with the incubators. So incubators have no chance to use at least 10% in any other way. So anyhow he has to invest in the technical assistance and mentoring, which is both are very much important part of the entrepreneurial journey. So mentoring, what we are doing, mentoring means here is the one-to-one mentoring we are providing. Each startup has a one mentor, sector experts, and that sector experts basically are from industries. Those are, for example, if anybody farm to fork company and looking for a market in Big Bazaar or Spencer type of thing. So we have a certain people in our mentor pool who have working as a sales head, working as a marketing head of such organizations like Big Bazaar, Spencer, and Reliance and all. So these people are mentoring startups. So it will be easy for a startup to go and to work with these companies very easily. And that makes a value addition for incubators through Wilgrow. And that's 6 things that I'm talking about. It's a huge value addition for the companies. And that's why Wilgrow sustainability is very much higher. We around 70 to 75% of incubators are sustaining after the incubation of Wilgrow. I am moving forward. Our ecosystem is very much, I already told that we have in Africa, Philippines, and the United States. Also, we have a impact fund, which is a SEBI registered AIF, and that is basically help our incubated company and other companies also to scale in the form of raising equity from the Mentra. So Mentra is giving around equity up to 5 crore rupees. Sector we already spoken. I'm just moving is little bit far because time is not allow us, because you people are here to understand what incubator of Wilgrow. So We adopted three ways to incubate incubators. It's inspire, incubate, and invest. Inspire in the sense we are doing multiple activities, ecosystem development activities. Also, we are we are inspiring the incubators by showing by delivering our impact. Okay, by delivering our impact through our companies. So in this way, a lot of inspirations are coming through this way. Second is that incubate. I'm coming to the point. So incubate, we are doing in five different ways. We are incubating the incubators. So first is that replication assistance, because we from last 20 years we have very much built our system. We very much understanding about the process and flows of incubation. So therefore, we have developed two things: incubation playbook and vitals. That what we are doing, we are sharing these things to the incubators. Incubation playbook is a free of cost available, and vitals is a things that Hira will discuss, which is a technology platform that captures no, tracks the incubation process and integrate data in all stages of the incubation model. So incubation playbook, I will discuss further, but it is a type of module. It's a four type of module which is talking about the setting up the incubators with all tools and templates and process. Second module will talking about the life cycle of the incubator. So I will discuss a little bit this after that. Then second things what we are doing after replication of our modules and vitals, we are doing the hand holding training to the incubators. So training it to different ways, in a short term training or long term training. We are starting with minimum 3-month assistance, then after we'll go 6 months or 1 year. What we are providing in that, we are training incubators sense we ensure that each and every tools and templates will be easily accessible for this incubator, and they must be adopted for the further uses. We also customize the all tools and templates and modules as per the incubator requirement as well. Peer learning sharing. So there is a lot of technology platform as well as the grouping as well as the physically and virtual. We are doing this. Just take example of the Invent program where 4 incubator was a part of the capacity building. So we are developed the different platform on Google, on WhatsApp, as well as we are every quarterly we are meeting in a certain area and we can discuss and our best practices and learnings. So that we are doing. As fourth part is mentoring, because after building the capacity of incubator, we have to ensure that the continuous of the process should be there. So therefore, every where we are incubating, we adopt one advisor to each incubator. So that advisor role is basically he work with 2 to 3 days per month with each incubator, and he will provide the further hand holding in terms of networking, in terms of raising funding from donors, in terms of raising funding from CSR, in terms of designing designing your community driven model, designing your EIC, IC investment committees and all. So these things help by these mentors, and these mentors also help the startup to raise further follow-on funding as well. Fifth is network, because different forum we are working. We are in the presence in the mostly in the ASEAN, India, and some part of the US and Europe as well. So we have a very strong connect with different stakeholders in incubation team. So therefore, we are connecting this incubators in other network as well. Also, we are helping incubators for some time. For example, we have a project as a Will Grow, but we are not able to execute the project in the different location. For example, we are not able to execute in the Bihar. So what we will do, we are partnering the incubators, those incubators who are already built the capacity by Will-Grow. So we are taking these incubators in our channel and help them to implement the program on behalf of Will-Grow or in partnership with Will-Grow as well in certain area and certain region. So that is our things. We have incubated more than 20 plus incubator in the different geography of the world, and also in India we have started in 2012. We have supported some Tamil Nadu based incubators, some other state incubators. Also, the major part is that we have supported 4 incubators in the low income states as well, which is IIT Kanpur, Startup Oasis CII, KIIT, IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. So through this incubator, they adopted very much in the system, and these 4 incubator itself incubated 160 companies in the sector, in the 4 major sector: agri, health, education, and livelihood. We also help some ASEAN-based incubator, setting up the incubator, develop their capacity, and set up the vitals and other things in this incubator. These are our team. Our CEO is Srinivas Nabarnujam, and with the Anant and Shyam and Shashi, all the practice lead. So here is our international team. So Arun is who is basically working with the United States Wilgrow, and he is helping incubate further incubators, and he is a mandate to support 100 plus incubators in the overall the world, and he is doing pretty good in this. So other people are from our different scenario. So I am done here, and I request now to Deba Pratim Das to share his experience on using the Wilgrow tools and templates. Yeah, Deba Pratim, over to you, please.
I thank you, Azhar. Yeah, I just vouch for exactly what Azhar has mentioned. I think we as an incubator, having worked very closely in partnership with Wilgrow for the Invent program, which was a social entrepreneurship program for 8 low-income states in the country, we have benefited a lot because basically, I mean, the benefit actually has come from the technical tools and the processes and the methodology. These are the 3 aspects that Wilgrow is very strong, and we benefited greatly in this. So that is how we could structure the programs in a proper manner, especially when we do the diagnostics. So that's even today we use the kind of the path shown by Wilgrow. We still follow in our organization. So really we benefited greatly from this kind of tools, templates, and methodology that Wilgrow has actually shown us to for our Invent program. Really benefited from that. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Deba.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deba, for the experience sharing. Before going to the vital parts to Hira, I have to show demo on the playbook as well. So I sharing my screen. Yeah. So as I discussed in my presentation, that there is 4 type of module is there to support incubators. So module 1 is talking about the setting up an incubator. So if we open this module, so if you see the table of, I hope a lot of incubators already received this incubator playbook. If not received, then I request you please write to Wilgrow. We can provide the free access of this incubator playbook to all incubators as well. So if you see how we are helping the incubator setting up an incubator for, we believe that the ecosystem understanding is very much important before setting up the incubator. So we help incubator to understand the ecosystem, to understand the geography, where you have to go, where you have to not go. For example, there is a lot of things, a lot of policy changes available, and other policies available in the state wise. For example, if you go in a UP and you have to start your incubator, so you must understand what policy framework is there, how you have to start this incubator, who is your ecosystem partner, who will be going to mentoring your incubator, type of things you have to analyze first before going further. So that facility we are giving with incubator, helping the incubator to do all this stuff. Same way, a lot of tools and templates also require to start the incubator, like MOA, AOA signing and all. So all things are, if you see the below, there is templates for setting up an incubator. So if you see, there is incorporation documents available, MOU available, ready-made MOU available. You can refer this, use this, and start your incubator with the defined headings available in this module. So if additionally, you will also get a lot of other documents to refer to start how to map your incubation, how to map your annual plan, how to map your a team and all this stuff. It is available in this module as well. So same as if we go for a module 2, which is talking about mostly incubation cycle. So this module details the step involved in incubating social enterprises. It explains how to generate a pipeline. So because there is a lot of, we have, as a personally, we have seen a lot of problem for the incubators, especially in budding incubators, new incubators. Those new incubators, those have a problem in getting right pipeline. They are doing for the sake of doing projects. But ultimately, if you want to sustain your incubator, if you want to sustain your incubation cycle as well, then you have to work very, very, very sophisticatedly and very mature way. And that's why that incubation cycle will help you to understand how to generate, starting from how to generate pipeline to get an exit from the startup. So it is a process include. So processes like getting pipeline, how to generate pipeline, like ecosystem building event you have to do, what type of ecosystem building event you have to do, how to build up network, how to build a partnership to get a good pipeline in the system, how to evaluate pipeline, how to check the pipeline is with your objective. So these things are available in this module. If you see the module here, so there's some problem coming to downloading this, but I'm showing you here. So anyhow, we have a second session at 1 p.m. as well to go each and every module. But for your understanding, so there is a different type of activities that are required to select these startups for pipeline generation, selection, due diligence, boosting the enterprise to different way, like scaling the company, how to scale the company, how to go to market and all that stuff. So all design, how to do all this stuff is available in the incubator playbook. And that is very much requirement of the current scenario, because all major of the incubator don't know the right way to reach the go-to-market, right way to reach to develop the idea to product, right way to develop the prototype. So these things are available in the playbook. So that playbook is ready to read, available for you guys. You can download, you can take a download from the Willgrow website with the access, and also you can request us to share these modules as well. So I'm not taking too much time here for the playbook. There is some technical glitches coming here. So I'm request Hira to take over from here and show the demo of the Vitals, which is our main tools to help the incubators.
Thanks, Azhar. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session. So great that you could make it to our demo and how our explanation on what kind of solutions we at Willgrow have come up for incubators. Azhar has talked in depth about our playbook, which is basically a resource center of how do you go about setting an incubator. It's our knowledge documented into an online resource, which is easy to access, easy to use, etc. The backbone of the playbook is, of course, our system Vitals. It's a platform that is an end-to-end incubation lifecycle management system. So it basically helps incubators, accelerators, early stage investors, impact investors, etc., to track portfolios, to track your pipeline, to track your portfolio, to track your funding and your grants, etc. So it's kind of going to help incubators manage their incubation life cycle right from the application of a company till the exit of the company from the portfolio. So we did a launch on day one, which kind of actually had made gave out the message that this system is now available for incubators to use across the world. And I'm just going to play a short video that will kind of give you an idea on what Vitals is, and then I'll go into the demo and actually show you the system after that. That was a sneak peek into Vitals, and that's the what you saw in the video is actually the version that is actually getting ready right now. It's our phase 2 of Vitals with the enhanced UI and stuff, and that's the version that is going to be available for incubators to install and start using for your portfolio tracking. I will share my screen now and do a quick demo of the system so you can understand what the video meant by track your pipeline, etc. in terms of how the data gets into the system. The dashboards, etc. that I will show you are currently on the version that we are using at Wilgrow, so the look and feel may be a little different, or it's basically the phase 1 of the system that I'm using for this demo. But eventually, once we do the installations at incubators, we will be using the version which you saw in the video. So quickly, let me go into the demo of Vitals. So this is the login page. it's fairly simplistic kind of a landing page, which kind of gives certain call to actions on what is pending with the person who's logged in. I think it's taking a little time, and this is kind of what usually happens when we do a demo. There's always some internet problem, so please bear with me. Am I on still?
Yes, Hira, you are on, please.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the landing page, and this is where so basically how we've divided the information is the ability to track your pipeline, which is what we have termed as deals, the ability to track your portfolio, which is the companies that you have actually invested in, the ability to track your donors and the funders for your incubation program. And we have a bunch of reports that can be used during the course of the incubation life cycle. So once you log in, you will see the basic call to actions, some things about what's pending, what milestones are coming up. It could be your donor milestones or it could be your incubating milestones. We have a simple summary that gives you number of applications you've received so far, etc. So these things are fairly customizable. The system is ready in such a way that you can actually pick and choose what modules you want. Do you want to do only pipeline tracking? We can give you those relevant modules. You want to do only portfolio tracking? We can give you those modules too. You want to use it only for funds and grants? We can give you that module too. So it's completely customizable in that sense. Quickly going into the pipeline management, at Willgrow we've defined, if you've seen the playbook, you will realize that you would have understood that the incubation life cycle, our pipeline shortlisting process consists of a couple of stages. So once the application comes in, we have defined a rubric which is used to first shortlist the first set of applications. So we do what is known as a preliminary assessment or a rapid diligence, and that has a rubric which scores the application on multiple parameters. And then we also have a second shortlist, which is the detailed diligence. And a lot of incubators directly kind of do the detailed diligence without this defined process of a preliminary assessment, which is also, it depends on what your work process is. But the detailed diligence is what we consider to be the second shortlisting of the pipeline. And companies that kind of finally go into, that are finally accepted post detailed diligence are the ones that we sign up our investment agreements with. And those are the ones that we track as part of our portfolio. So those are the main chunks of the workflow that is defined in our playbook, as well as backed by the technology platform of Vitals. That is the application, the first shortlist, which is the preliminary assessment or the rapid diligence as we call it, the second shortlist, which is the detailed diligence, and finally the portfolio tracking. So I will just quickly show you, taking this company as an example. This they've filled in how the application works is either we can customize the application form depending on what fields you want to track at the point of application. That is hosted on your website. We give you a URL which you can embed into your website, and then you start your marketing on that and then invite applications in for your program. All applications feed into the Vitals, and this is the deals page wherein you can see all the applications that have come in. Filter it by program, filter it by the status of the stage of the company in your workflow, etc. So a couple of filter options are available over here. Once the application comes in, the first stage, as I said, was the reviewing of the application and seeing does it fit the basic mandate. So is it for us at Wilgrow? Is things like, does it have good impact? Is it innovative? Is it scalable? So is it basically investable? So these basic criteria can be obtained by reviewing the application form at the first stage. So this section is where you can see the application form as filled in by the enterprise or the entrepreneur from your website. So we collect some basic information. We also collect a lot of details about the enterprise for our application revenues. We collect gender breakup of their management team, etc. So this is the information that this company has filled up on our website, and the application form has been received in our Vitals. So typically the portfolio managers or the sector teams would look at this and decide whether they want to move it forward or not in the whole workflow. So if it goes forward to the next stage, which is the preliminary assessment or the rapid diligence, we get this option of doing the assessment, basic assessment on the company. So for us, we have right now a built-in scoring rubric which takes into account 11 parameters or so. But this is again customizable based on the on how each incubator works, because there are incubators that don't do such a detailed initial assessment, or they may do combine this with the detailed diligence part and do everything together at one point. But right now at Wilgrow, this is our work process, and this is what has been documented on the playbook as well. So when we do the incubators program and we are training incubators to kind of set up the incubation program, this is how the training runs, and this is why the Vitals is in line with the our resources also. So this is the scoring rubric. We have these basic areas that we score the company on. For each area we have defined, because we do a little more detailed assessment of each company, we've kind of broken it down into sub areas. There's a kind of like a guidance on how do you score these this company or this enterprise based on these areas. So this is how the initial assessment is done. From a team perspective, more than one person can be working on this particular application or this particular deal, and more than one person can be giving their perspective of the company. So if multiple people are working on the same thing, they can all work on they can all do assessments independently, and then in the next screen you will see how the summary of assessments by different people in your team is available. So basically for this company we've had 1, 2, 3, and this is my login, the demo user. So these employees have actually kind of done this kind of scoring. This is their comments on the company, etc. So this is the summary of the assessment, the preliminary assessment, the first level of shortlist for the application. So how it works is that we use the scoring rubric to kind of just tighten the process of actually reviewing the company, making sure that that we are looking at things that tie in with our mandate when we are shortlisting the company. So basically things like scale, innovation, etc. are very big for Wilgrow. As an incubator or an accelerator, you may have other things that you're looking at. Impact may be much more important for you, so in which case you need to focus on how the social impact is and do a little more study of the application at this point. So once the initial assessment, typically probably will take about a couple of weeks or 2 to 4 weeks to kind of get all this information. Internally you might discuss with your internal committee or your team, etc., and decide whether this company is worth taking forward in the workflow. Do you want to do a detailed diligence on this and study the company more before we actually do the investment on the company? So this, once you finish your preliminary assessment, the scoring of the company, etc., move on to the next stage. Say, okay, fine, I'm moving it on, I'm accepting it, and these are the dates, these are the minutes of various meetings, etc. So you have a track of what was discussed at the time of accepting the company to the detailed diligence phase. So the third phase is the detailed diligence, wherein which is from a Vitals perspective, from a platform perspective, is mostly collecting documents about the company, because you would be doing like a financial audit, you will be doing background checks on the team, you'll do site visits. So you're going to generate or create a lot of content or collect a lot of content during the detailed diligence. So from a system perspective, this is where you will kind of store everything that you collect during the detailed diligence phase. So you will get more information about the company and team, you'll get information about how the cap table is, what the management team is, their contact information. So this becomes like a data warehouse, a knowledge warehouse for you. So basically you collect all the during the detailed diligence, all your meetings, any meetings you have with the enterprise, all that can be documented in a single place. So later on, when you are either onboarding people into your team, or you're actually getting companies which are in a similar sector or similar area of something that you've already done this research on, you have a ready single place where you can go and get all the information. So NDAs, documents, formal documents, presentations, etc. Everything can be uploaded here. Now these are things that we use at Willgrow during the detailed diligence, and of course all this can be customized depending on how each incubator or accelerator works. So if you don't do an NDA at this point and it's not something that you want to use here, we can customize this and take that off. Or if you have another set of documents that you think are important at the point of detailed diligence, we can bring that in here. So all this is basically from the Willgrow, because we have been using the system for 2 years now. It is all Willgrow specific kind of terminology, etc. But all that can be changed depending on how the incubator works, how your company works, and that is part of the onboarding process for Vitals. And finally, at the end of detailed diligence, we say, okay, fine, the company has been accepted. We're going to move on, take it, actually invest in this company, bring it into our portfolio, and do the incubation or the acceleration of this particular company. And that's when we actually start the portfolio management, as in it joins our portfolio of companies. So we move on to the portfolio section, which is where I'll show you how we track all our companies that we are currently invested in. So the portfolio management is basically how we have defined it is in order to give tighter control to our investments, and to tighter control and being able to provide better support to our companies so that they succeed. How we have planned it is that at the beginning of the year we can set up what we call targets for each of the companies, and those targets we track month on month, saying, okay, have we reached the target? Are we not reaching the target? If we're not reaching the target, what are the interventions that we need to make at this point so that our companies can succeed? So I will just show you quickly what are the data points that we look at, because we have built in a set of data points that we look at for each company, and that's what is I mean, if you don't have such a stringent process right now, this is a great template to go with, because it kind of covers a lot of the work that each company does. So if you're tracking companies based on a sector, or if you're tracking companies based on various programs that you've run, etc., and you don't have a stringent process in which you track them on quantifiable data points, then this is a great template to use. But if on the flip side, if there are other data points that you need to bring in, that is something that we can look at the point of customization or at the point of onboarding. So we've divided it into two sections. One is the portfolio related, like the company related information, and one is interventions from the incubator's perspective. So when we talk about the enterprise data points that we need to track based on the enterprise's performance, we look at these four main categories, which are product and sales, the finance and financials, team and their compliance related activities, and impact. So when we say product and sales, supposing it's a company that is not yet in the market, we are going to be tracking just how they are going in the product life cycle. Are they still ideating? Are they prototyping? Have they done, like, initially, have they done customer studies, etc.? So there is a product life cycle, so which is why we have product and sales. And some of our companies are in product and in sales, like they have some products that are still being developed and some products which are already in sales. So when we, from the Vitals, in Vitals, you can actually track both. As in, if you have a company that's actually doing sales, you can track it right down to the SKU level. So for each SKU, what is the number of units they're planning to sell, what are the number of units they actually sell month on month, and also in terms of rupees, what is the value of those units. And of course, other things like channel, pipeline, etc. On the financial side, again, we track three key data points, which is revenue, profit, and follow-on funding. Outside of Willgrow, how much of outside of this incubator, how much are they tracking? So revenue, what is your month-on-month revenue? What is the plan? What is the actual, etc.? And based on the revenue, what do you plan to do as profit? So this gives us a tighter control on how the company is progressing month on month. Are they, if they are not, I mean, if there is no revenue, obviously the revenue targets will be zero, because that's not something that you're going to be tracking, in which case you'll be tracking the product life cycle of the company. Now, for each of these data points, along with setting up targets, which are number targets, we also can put in like a qualitative work plan. So this is something that we brought in recently, because we found that even though you can track numbers, very often that there is an explanation or there is something that you need to track qualitatively. So this is one of the good features of Vitals, is that we have both qualitative as well as quantitative tracking. So it builds a really great knowledge warehouse, and it ends up being a place where you can go at any point of time to see even history. Like, you want to learn about how the company was 2 years back, this is where you come and see, and then you see what each of the portfolio managers have done in terms of interventions, in terms of how they helped the company succeed. If the company didn't succeed, why it didn't succeed, etc. So these are the main things. In terms of impact, we have certain standard built-in metrics, but for each company you can also track individual metrics, company-specific metrics. We've done a kind of mapping with Iris to kind of generalize this so that we can pull up our impact reports much easier. And in terms of incubator services and interventions, these are the things that Azhar was talking about, the tools that Willgrow has developed, which are really beneficial to incubators to make sure that they have a cycle, that an incubation program that really succeeds. So mentoring and technical assistance, diagnostic panels, these are the main tools that we have developed and we use internally. And because these are tools that we are using to help our companies, it obviously translates into our technology solution as well. So when we say mentors, what do we track? We see who is the mentor who is assigned, what is their name, contract information, etc., etc. How many mentors we're planning to do for each company, how many hours are we expecting each mentor to put in. So you know who's a mentor, how many hours is he expected to put in, what is the plan for each of the mentors for each company. And month on month, we will actually track and see, did this mentor actually put in the number of hours that he was supposed to put in? What are the interventions that he gave the company? And when we see it in conjunction with other data points, like for example, you have a mentor who is coming in to help them develop their sales plan, and he's put in, say, some 10 hours in 1 month. And then you look at the sales numbers and you see, okay, have my sales numbers actually gone up? Is this mentor's interventions actually making a direct impact on the sales? And that's how you can tie up and look at the data and analyze the data and make sure that what work you are doing as an incubator or an accelerator is actually having a direct reward from on the company's side. Similarly, you can track technical assistance. Like if you have from Willgrow, technical assistance is a service that we provide where we tie up the companies with other service providers, and they can actually get very targeted projects done. Like for example, they want a GTM plan developed. We help them identifying who's the service provider who can work with them, and then we track that whole engagement. Like, does the service provider actually benefit the enterprise? Diagnostic panels is another very Wilgrow defined tool that we have developed, and basically it's like internally we've given it as a guideline that every company needs a diagnostic panel at least once a quarter. And what we do during the diagnostic panel is we try to solve very specific issues that the company may be facing. So as taking the GTM plan again, if they're having trouble going into market, we take that problem area, get in experts, etc., and kind of solve that. So in Vitals, you can track what is my diagnostic plan for this company, what am I going to do in that diagnostic panel, and then when the actual plan is, when you actually complete your diagnostic panel meeting, you track what are the outcomes of that meeting, what are the milestones that we have set for this company based on that diagnostic panel. So if we say that GTM is the issue, these are the ways that we are going to solve this problem. So therefore in the next 2 months you have to hire a marketing manager or a CMO to take care of XYZ. That would be a milestone. Recruitment would be one milestone that you're going to start tracking. So these are all key data points that would actually bring tighter control on each of the companies. And last is, of course, the seed funding that the incubator is giving. How much are you planning to give? Who are the donors? Which is the grant? How much is the amount? What are the milestones based on which you're releasing money to each of your companies? So if you see the dashboards, so on each of these key data points, we track the plan versus the actuals. And of course, as I said, there is a qualitative element to it, wherein you can say for this Q1 plan versus actual, my actual has really gone up. So what is the explanation against that? It was a COVID year, but then even though there was so much, even though it was the pandemic, they still managed to do much higher revenue, etc. What is the explanation? So the dashboard gives you a single place to actually understand the company. In this version of the UI, the drill up and drill down are a little more old-fashioned, but if you've seen the video, you'll see that the upcoming dashboard is much more intuitive. We have a large number of features like tracking across years. We have features in which you can drill up and drill down in a single click, etc. Here, if I want to see, like supposing you have, you're working in different sectors or you're working in different programs, and each program has, like, say about 10 or 15 companies, and you want to see a higher level view, there is a way to go back and see, okay, at the program level, how am I performing? Who are my companies in this program or in this sector? I have so many companies. This is overall revenue across all these companies. So therefore, this for us, we track it at the sector level. So therefore, for this sector, this is the total plan for this revenue. This is the total annual actual so far. So the drill up and drill down at this point in this version of Vitals, this is version 1 basically, is a little more old-fashioned. But as I said, the upcoming version 2, which should be ready in the next month or so, will be much more modern, intuitive, much more, will give you a better way to be able to view the data. Like for example, we have the metrics on impact. Here we do internally track gender disaggregated impact numbers, like how many end beneficiaries are male, female, unknown, etc. But the dashboard right now is just a summary on the total number of lives benefited, total number of beneficiaries, etc. The next version will give you the gender disaggregated data. So this is quickly how the portfolio management can be done. I know it's kind of a lot of information, and it's I kind of ran through it a little bit. But just to wrap up, and because I'm being mindful of time and we're like reaching the last 5 minutes of this session, but the main point in having a tech solution, as in we had an earlier masterclass by Billion Lives. He also spoke about how there are simple tech solutions for enterprises that actually will solve an issue or an inefficiency in the organization. And also, and once you start using it is when you see the benefits of it. So from Vitals and the Playbook as a platform, you can how it would benefit is that you have data collection, quantitative data collection over the years. It's a one-time thing. So you start collecting information about your companies. You want to track impact, you have the impact numbers readily available. And everything is available in one place. So we've had issues at Willgrow when people leave a lot of, the reason why Vitals kind of has seen the light of day is because we've been using the old-fashioned way of using Excels on people's laptops, which went on to Excels on Google Drive, etc. But there is a lot of loss of information. So we've been around for 20 years now, and in the last 3 years we've been using Vitals, and we can see that we have 3 years of data now, and it's given us a lot of power to actually to analyze the past data, make great decisions for the future of our companies. So just to wrap up quickly, this is what Vitals is about. It's end-to-end, it's homegrown, we've developed it, and when we take it out to incubators, how we see it is that each one can get an installation, so your data is yours. So, and even though it's hosted on, it is hosted on AWS, and even though we'll give you a separate installation, you are the custodian of all your data. The data security is already built in, so those things are already taken care of. And it's a one-time installation for you. You can use it for any of your programs, any of your sector tracking, etc. So at this time, I'll kind of just take a pause here. Azhar, would you like to add anything here?
Yeah, so I just one message to the all incubators and accelerators here. So this Playbook and Vitals both are available for you and for your team for another one demo, more demos. Okay, if you want to take more demos of such Vitals and Playbook, you please write to us at the rate info@willgrow.org. Also, you can write us through our personal email IDs. It is available on the Hubilo. Plus, if you have any questions, any confusions, any doubt, so we have a second session just after that. It is a networking lounge. I request you all to join this networking launch to clarify your all doubts and confusion regarding the Playbook and Vitals. Playbook, there is certain reasons, some technical glitch, we have not able to open the overall the Playbook, but in the networking launch, we will help you to understand what is actually Playbook and how Vitals will help you to sustain your incubation system. Yeah, Hira.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap this up at this point. And as Azhar said, you can reach out to us at any time. If you want a further demo, deeper analysis, understanding how the licensing works, etc., we're always open to a conversation. Anubha, back to you.
Thank you so much, Hira and Azhar, for sharing your expertise with us. It was great to be a part of this masterclass, and I'm sure the participants feel very much the same. For those of you who would like to connect to Hira and Azhar, please head to the Incubators Roundtable scheduled from 1 to 2 p.m. Coming up next are sessions around the value of tech-based advisory in the eyes of the farmer and catalyzing rural micro-entrepreneurship. You can also head over to the networking lounge to meet Stephanie from GIZ. See you all again soon. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.